Hello, I'm Cassie Knoll, and this week we have a very busy show on Suncoast FYI. We have Grace Community Church, Geo Shelters, State College of Florida, Sarasota Ballet, and Santa's Cause. They're all next on Suncoast FYI. Thanks for joining us today on Suncoast FYI. Dr. Chip Bennett is the founding and lead pastor of Grace Community Church located in Lakewood Ranch. He joins me now to tell us more. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm glad to have you here today. This is going to be fun to talk about.
Sure.
So how has Grace grown so fast in an environment where churches aren't necessarily growing quite so quickly?
It's a great question. Church in America definitely has had some decline in its numbers, but I think that people are looking for authenticity and they're looking for things that are real. And some of the things I think we've done that has helped us grow is, number one, we're really engaged in the community. We First Friday on Main Street in Lakewood Ranch, we're always involved. We do a great, huge children's outreach, put all kinds of rides up and different things. We just had last Friday, we had a big snow or an ice thing where the children could slide down, so it's almost like ice in Lakewood Ranch.
Something we don't get much
no, we
here
don't.
In Florida.
And on top of that, on December 23rd, which is incredible, Lakewood Ranch is going to shut down Main Street, and we're going to do a candlelight service on Main Street. We're bringing in Santa, we're bringing in Anna and Elsa, we're bringing in a snow machine, so we're going to make it snow on Main Street, and then we'll cap it off with some carols, some candlelight stuff. So I think that we're engaged in the community is one thing. Secondly, we're a church that really believes that, Jesus said that you would know that we're his disciples by the love that you show towards one another. And our church is a church that really welcomes everybody. And I think when I talk to people, or we call it debriefing with people that have visited, that they always say, we really felt welcomed when we came to Grace. And then I try hard as a pastor to give a message that not only encourages and helps, but gives you something to think on and to walk out with some practical skills. So I think all of those things together have made for some tremendous growth, because in just a few short years, we've gone from one service to 4 weekend services.
Wow.
So we've really had some explosive growth.
That's impressive.
It is, so we're very thankful.
And all the events that it sounds like you're doing are very family-oriented.
They are.
You're engaging the kids as well.
One of the things I say as the pastor is, if the church disappeared, let's say that we went out of business, for lack of better terms, would the community miss us? And so for me, I want to make sure that we're never a place that the Lakewood Ranch community doesn't know we exist. And if for some reason we weren't involved in the things that we do, they'd be like, hey, where'd that church go? So it's a real big deal for us to be involved in the community.
You're making an impact. You're holding your place.
We do. That's exactly what we think.
So if I were someone looking for a church, why should I try Grace, besides all the wonderful things that we just talked about?
Sure. First of all, as a pastor, anybody who's thinking about trying church, I just hope they go to church. It's not, they don't have to come to my church. I just want them to go to church. But, specifically, because at the fundamental level, I believe that the church done right is the hope of the world. I believe it's the greatest institution in society. But as far as Grace, I think that we're a casual environment. If somebody's thinking about coming back to church, maybe they haven't been to church, maybe they've been separated from church for a long time, we're an easy place to come in. We're casual. They can wear whatever they want to wear. We always tell visitors on our website that leave your wallet in the car. We want you to just come in and have a good time. And ultimately, I think that's what I would say to someone. Come give us a shot. Check us out. If we're not the church that fits for you, let us help you find a church that fits for you, because I'm more concerned about people being in church than I am necessarily about them being in my church. That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got this started.
Well, Grace is an interesting church. I pastored for 6 years, and then I got out of ministry. And then we started church, Grace, about 4.5 years ago. We were at a different location, and we moved to Lakewood Ranch about 2.5 years ago. And when we moved with about 30 to 50 people that were really involved in the church, and now we've grown to over 500 people with 4 weekend services. So we've had a really cool way in which we've started. A little bit about myself. I'm sort of an interesting, eclectic background, but I have 3 master's degrees and I have 2 doctorates. And I teach, I'm an adjunct professor for Southeastern University, and I also teach a master and doctoral program for Knox Theological Seminary in Fort Lauderdale. I'm an online professor.
Wow.
So I sort of a nerd. I love Mac computers. I love to read. And my wife told me to make sure, she said, because this is important, that you say, I love the band Van Halen, but only with David Lee Roth being the lead singer.
Okay, so we've clarified that.
That's right.
That's good.
So that's a little bit about me. And I got, my wife's Mindy. We have 6 wonderful kids. And, life is good. So let's maybe a little bit about me.
even more of a reason for people to come and visit with you.
It's a rodeo. They can come and just laugh at the fact that we have 6 kids and we do all that we do. It's fun to watch,
that sounds like you have a very busy schedule.
We do.
So if people are interested in coming to visit Grace, where can they go for more information?
You know, they can go to our website, which is www.gracesarasota.com. And on the website, we have a lot of information, but we also have all of the sermons are videoed in high-def video, so they can watch what's going on and see if that's something that they like before they even show up. So the website's good, or they can, come visit us. We have 4 weekend services, Saturday at 6, Sunday at 8:30 in the morning, 10 o'clock, and 11:30. And we'd love to have anybody, and we say at Grace, everybody's welcome.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
Congratulations on the growth. That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Very cool. Well, stay tuned to Suncoast FYI. Coming up next, we'll learn all about Geo Shelters. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Suncoast FYI. I'm Cassie Knoll. Geo Shelters are quickly becoming one of the most popular solutions for people who are looking for portable shelters. Here to tell us more about them is Scott Gerber. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kathy.
So tell me a little bit about what is a Geo Shelter.
A Geo Shelter is a geodesic dome that is made of composite materials, and it just snaps together. So if you found yourself in a situation where you needed immediate shelter, which is pretty important,
Yes.
you could put this thing together without any tools, without any outside assistance. It takes 2 men, 2 hours to snap one together, and it'll last a very, very long time. Being composite, it can't rot, it can't rust or anything like that. So
you have this little replica of it here that you have. And this is very tiny, but also very, very solid. You said I could actually stand on this, and it would be okay.
Yeah, triangle is the only shape that will not fold in upon itself. Circles, squares, rectangles, they can all collapse inside themselves. A triangle doesn't. So it's just it's a multitude of triangles assembled together.
Wow.
And this was originally designed in 1926. What we got our patent on was the way that it snaps together and the fact that it's made of composite materials. And I started on the patent about 6 years ago. I was building yachts I had a military project, and I was making these ballistic panels, and all of a sudden over the radio, you hear about the earthquake in Haiti. And I had been to Haiti several times. I had friends over there, and the devastation was just unbelievable. And I knew I needed to do something. And just popped into my head, this will work.
Yeah.
And so I started making some small Geo Shelters, basically, and they worked perfectly. And it was probably the hardest part about it was this is too simple to be this good.
Yeah.
But it really is.
So do you have different size options for people?
Our patent covers any size. There's a geodesic dome in Japan that they just built that's over 900 feet across.
Whoa.
And a geodesic dome requires 1/3 less materials to build and 1/3 less energy to heat and cool.
Oh.
And our panels are 1 inch thick. They have an insulated core in the center of them. So it's completely insulated. They can have windows. We have a patent on the windows. And they come with solar panels. And on the back side of the solar panel is an LED light.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. You've thought of everything with these.
I kind of put myself in this situation. The thing about a natural disaster is they don't discriminate. You can be rich, poor, it doesn't matter. And when you lose everything. And after Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, the federal government spent $2.7 million on FEMA trailers. It took those builders 30 days to just build 100 shelters. Some of the people that were put on the list waited 18 months before they received their shelter.
Whereas these can be done in just 2 hours.
They can be assembled in 2 hours, but because they are so simple, they can be manufactured very, very quickly. It could be a fire, it could be a flood, it could be a hurricane, a tornado. There's always need. Right now, there's 200 million people around the world that don't have a shelter. Our refugee situation right now, it's a big debate, of where they should go and whatnot. They wouldn't have to go anywhere if we had the shelters, because we could build communities. The same thing with homeless. I've been approached by a couple of people here in town that are passionate about trying to do something about the homeless situation. This is a very inexpensive alternative to building very large buildings, and this gives dignity.
So tell me, where can people go for more information if they're interested in finding out about this?
Well, it's a startup right now, so they can go to Geo Shelter, that's without an S, just geoshelter.com. And almost every day we're putting something new on the site. We're going to have a private crowdfunding part on there, so people, if they want to be a part of this, they can join us and try to make the world a better place.
All right, well that sounds fantastic, and it sounds like you have a great product going.
Well, thank you.
And I can't wait to hear more about it and the success that it has in the future.
Great. Well,
thank you so
Kathy.
much for coming on the show.
All right, thanks.
And coming up on Suncoast FYI, State College of Florida, so stay tuned. And welcome back to Suncoast FYI. I'm Cassie Knoll. State College of Florida is boldly engaging the community, and here to tell us more about their strategic long-term plan are Dr. Carol Probsfield and Dr. Robin Bell. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I should say welcome back to the show for you.
Thank you.
Putting on a different hat to come on in here for today. So tell me about how you are boldly engaging the community and how that will allow SCF to accomplish the goals of your new strategic plan.
Well, first, let me say thank you very much for giving this opportunity to talk about my favorite topic, and that's the State College of Florida. Boldly engaging is the theme of our strategic plan because we know after 58 years and 45,000 graduates that the best way to give our students opportunity and create their success is by engaging the entire community in that process, whether it's sponsors, donors, the faculty, employers, people in the community. And to the extent that we can be the catalyst that bring all those together, we can create success for our students and a thriving prosperity for our community.
Yeah, you get everybody involved, you get the support of everyone around you, and it really just opens all the doors for you.
Exactly.
So what are your strategic priorities for the next 5 years?
Well, there are four, and they're aimed at four very important topics. First and foremost, it's we need to be where our students live, work, and play. Our community is evolving, it's growing, and we need to make sure we're creating opportunity where students live, work, and play.
Yes.
The second, we want to make sure that the hardest part about being a student is the academic rigor in the classroom, not all the processes it takes to get there. So we're focusing on a concierge type of experience so students can find their way through those processes as easily as possible and spend their energy in the classroom. The third is creating opportunities to get away from that old linear idea of education where we teach, students learn, and people hire our graduates, and bring all of those parties together so we have a more real-life experience for students every day in the classroom. And lastly, and I want Robin to amplify on this, we want to establish ourselves as that central role in not only education and workforce development, but within the cultural arts of our community.
Right, and at the State College of Florida, we are the only college in this area that provides an education for those students that want to go into the arts, music arts, theater arts, visual arts. We offer all of those things, band, orchestra, choir, musical theater. We have a wonderful theater program that has 4 plays a year. We have an art gallery on our campus. And that's a two-way road. We're educating those students, but we're also providing community members outstanding performances to come and attend to. So we're excited about the Neal Performing Arts Center being the hub of musical activity.
And again, you're engaging the community by bringing them in for all of these wonderful performances and getting them involved with SCF. Such a great little circle here that we got going on. So explain your vision that you can get anywhere from here.
Well, again, as I said, we've been in this business for 58 years. We have 45,000 graduates who can testify to the fact about whether you want to start a business, you just want to expand your skills in your current job, if you want to get a degree at our institution and go right into the workplace, or if you want to get a degree and transfer. We're the best place to start. And we have, like I said, 45,000 students who can testify to that and demonstrate that whether you want to go on to an Ivy League institution or whether you want to become a nurse right here in our community, you can do that by starting at the State College of Florida.
So students have so many choices today. How can SCF remain a destination of choice for future students?
I think money is always a big topic for students and concern. I think you can see that our college offers courses at about 1/3 the price of most state institutions. I think our Foundation does a wonderful job of providing scholarships for those students so that those that normally wouldn't be able to afford it can. And we provide great facilities for students to learn in. Very important to keep those 3 things in mind when you're thinking about where you're going to go to school.
Because like you said, you want the students to be able to focus on the academics and their futures and not have to worry about all of those other things that are really not for them to be working on at that time.
I'd also like, if I might just add, we are the best return on investment. When you look at our graduation rates, when you look at our success rates in terms of job placement, when you look at how well our students do on their licensure exams, we're in the gold standard of the state, and in many cases the best in the nation.
Wow. Congratulations on that. You've made this sound wonderful. Where can people go for more information?
www.scf.edu and strategic plan if you want to know more about our plan.
Thank you so much for coming in today, ladies. It was wonderful to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
And next on Suncoast FYI, have you ever heard of the Circus Nutcracker? Well, it's coming to the Sarasota Ballet, and we'll have the details coming up after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Suncoast FYI. I'm Cassie Knoll. The 25th anniversary season is underway at the Sarasota Ballet, and here to tell us all the details is Jessica Cohen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here today because you play a very important role at a very important show. So tell me a little bit about the Nutcracker.
Well, the Nutcracker, it's a holiday tradition. It's probably the most watched and one of the most beloved ballets of all time. It's a great show for kids, for adults, and it really just sort of brings the holiday spirit. It's the story of a young girl, Clara, which is the role that I play, and she is given the gift of a nutcracker, and she takes this magical journey, and that's the story of the Nutcracker.
And you actually have played Clara, this is your second time playing Clara, right? So you got this down pat.
Yeah. This is my second time in this production playing Clara, so I'm excited to revisit it and sort of make more of a role that I've already had the pleasure of playing.
Now this is not the traditional Nutcracker that we're talking about here. Tell me a little bit about the version that you guys are performing.
Our Nutcracker is very innovative. We actually have created the whole story around the idea of the circus, which is obviously a Sarasota famous ringling circus.
Yeah.
And it's basically that Clara is completely in love with the circus, and it's her dream to run away to the circus. So instead of going to the Kingdom of Sweets, which is the typical Nutcracker story, she goes to the circus.
Oh, wow.
And you see all the different circus characters and trapeze artists.
Oh, wow.
So it's a totally new spin on a holiday classic.
That sounds amazing, and it sounds very localized to us
Yes.
here on the Sun Coast. So why should audiences come see the Nutcracker?
I think that the Nutcracker, it just sort of brings this feeling of togetherness and holiday spirit. It's a tradition that can become a family tradition. When I was a little girl, my grandmother brought me and my cousins to the Nutcracker, and it really just, it opens children's eyes to this whole new world with music, with dance, costumes, and scenery. And it's something for everyone to see.
And especially adding in that circus element,
Yes.
I'm sure it makes it even more entertaining.
Yeah, it's honestly a feast for the eyes. There's just an unbelievable array of colors and talents and shades to this production.
So you're getting me really excited about it. Definitely want to come see that. So do you have a favorite scene in the ballet?
My favorite scene would have to be what we like to call the transformation, which is when Clara first awakens into her dream. And it's sort of like this big plot twist when all of a sudden we go from reality to Clara's dream, and that feeling where magic is surrounding you and anything is possible. And it goes straight into the battle scene, which is all of a sudden her worst nightmare.
Yeah.
So it's this really fun range of emotions to play.
Sounds like we transitioned very quickly
Yeah,
through there.
it goes really quickly from just this amazing, joyous feeling to a mouse attacking you and the Nutcracker protecting you, and it's a really action-packed, fun scene.
So that's your favorite one to do?
That's my favorite.
So you guys have live music as well. What does that add to the ballet?
There's really nothing like watching a live performance when you can feel that orchestra with you as a part of the performance. And this is famous music that most people are just familiar with, you know, a jewelry commercial with the song of the Sugar Plum Fairy, but here you're having the whole score, which tells a story on its own, and to have live musicians playing that is really special.
And so can you tell me real quick who the live musicians are?
It's the Sarasota Orchestra that's playing, and they just play the full Tchaikovsky score, which is really beautiful.
That's amazing. Of course, with the Sarasota Orchestra, it's going to be fabulous to start with. So, of course, if people are interested in this, they need to buy up their tickets now because you guys are only having 3 performances.
Yeah.
So tell me, where can people go for more information about that?
They can go to the sarasotaballet.org and they can call the box office as well.
Okay.
And buy tickets and come see the show.
I was going to say, the show is going to be next Friday and Saturday, the 18th and the 19th. Again, only 3 performances, so you got to buy those tickets soon. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck at your performances.
Thank you.
And coming up next on Suncoast FYI, it's time for Santa's Cause. We'll have those details next, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Suncoast FYI. I'm Cassie Knoll. Santa's Cause is a fun way to raise money for a good cause, just in time for the holiday season. Here to tell us more are Paul Kutlarczyk and Danny Smith. Welcome to the show.
Great. Thank you for having us.
And welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having us again.
So, Santa's Cause.
Yes.
It sounds like so much fun. Tell me a little bit about how it got started and what exactly you guys do.
Well, we started this 5 years ago, and we assembled a group of 25 gentlemen, all business professionals, business owners, and try to find a way to blow off some holiday steam and raise some money for a worthwhile charity. And we came up with this idea. All 25 guys don Santa suits, and we go hit the streets and take pictures with people, and they donate money to the charity.
And there's a little bit more involved about the choices of places that you go to along your way as well.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Jack Daniel's is involved in this. They help with some of our transportation costs. And as a result, each of the establishments that we go and patronize feature a Jack Daniel's special that evening.
Wow, that sounds awesome. I know we talked about this last year. Go ahead, you can share your input on that.
Oh, it's great. I mean, we got a Naughty and Nice theme this year with Jack Honey and Jack Fire, where all the bars will be featuring that we're stopping at.
And I was asking before, because in the past you had like a truck and a float and all this kind of stuff, but you said we've got some modifications this year.
Yes, this year we're traveling by limo bus. We've added a few more Santas to the group. For the past 4 years, it's been the same core of guys, but we've had a couple additions at the last minute, and we've outgrown our float. The float was a fantastic way to travel because we got some really good exposure as we traveled from location to location. But in terms of safety, we needed to find a different transportation this year, and decided to go with the limo bus.
That sounds great. Traveling in style, dressed in a Santa suit.
It beats the sleigh.
That's awesome. So, okay, so Santa's Cause is, I mean, I've heard of this in other places of the country. How will people know the difference between you as the Santas dressed up versus maybe just random Santas out on the street having a good time?
These types of events definitely have gained some popularity in other cities and other areas. So when we're on the street, we have some rubber boots that people put donations into, and we have the logo for the charity and the event. So if people do see these boots out on the street, they'll know that we're out there raising money for a great cause.
And that you're the ones to talk to.
And that we're the ones to talk to.
Because I'm sure there'll be plenty of Santas out on the street having a good time.
There might be. There might be.
All right, so this is actually all for Suncoast Charities for Children.
For children, correct. Everything goes directly to the charity. Nothing gets filtered through any type of organization or anything like that. In the last 4 years, we're just shy of $40,000.
Wow.
Our goal this year is to raise another $15,000, and we're at $12,000 right now. So we're getting close to it.
And of course, this wouldn't be possible without all the help.
Without all the bars, yeah, we ask that each bar donates $200 and feature the brand for that evening. And the bars are really stepping up this year, and some have already actually donated more than what we've asked for, which is fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
And so besides the actual bars, anyone can donate to this by finding you on the street?
Absolutely, or contact Suncoast Charities for Children directly. And just let them know that they saw something in regards to Santa's Cause and liked the idea. And as a matter of fact, the bulk of the donations that we have started to receive have been from people who thought it was a great idea and just wanted to contribute, and checks just started coming in. So it's been fantastic.
That's amazing. And of course, it's right on time for the holiday season to be doing all of this.
Definitely feel good.
So what is your track? Where are you going?
We'll be starting at Big Top Brewing. And then from there, we'll be going to Office Bar, to Maid Restaurant on Main Street, to Old School, Then heading down the street to the new Evie's location on Main Street, the Gator Club, Smokin' Joe's, and Ivory.
Wow, you guys are going to have a great time
Yeah.
covering all of that, covering all of that track there. So, if someone wants to donate, or they want more information, or maybe even to get involved, where can they go for that?
They can call us at the Loaded Barrel Tavern or contact Suncoast Charities for Children directly.
All right, and that sounds fantastic. Good luck, guys. I hope you have a blast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Oh, and again, this is happening this Saturday, by the way, for those that are interested.
Thank you.
This coming Saturday. Thank you again for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
And stay tuned to Suncoast FYI. We'll be right back. That's our show for today, and thanks so much for joining us. If you would like to promote your business or event on Suncoast FYI, we would love to hear from you. Just call our sales department at 941-361-4223. I'm Cassie Knoll, and we'll see you next Friday on Suncoast FYI.